What up, Long Beach? Welcome back to GazetteSports.com and the Press Telegram. This is Mike, and this Moore League Cross Country video is brought to you by Naples Rib Company. Taking a cruise down Carson to go to Heartwell Park for the 2013 Moore League Cross Country Finals. That's right, this one is for the hardware, and some really cool big-time storylines going on in both the boys and girls varsity. This group right here trying to make history, prove it really is their time. Poly looking for a sweep. That was their goal. They really wanted to meet that goal here in the final league race of the season. And they're also looking for their 7th straight Moore League team title, which would make it 17 of the last 18 for the Jackrabbits. You see their pack is out there early, but that's Wilson's David Mejia breaking up that sweep that they were looking for. That's sort of the thing to keep an eye on. With Poly's times, you can kind of assume they're going to have those runners towards the top and take that 7th straight title, but can they finish all 7 varsity runners at the top of the heap? Obviously, you see Mejia hanging right there. It's going to be tough to do it. He's still in 7th. Now we look to the front of the pack, and the senior Christian Vasquez is taking control. He won at Signal Hill with a very good strategic run there, and kind of similar here, paced himself just perfectly. But as we said, you know, the top of the lineup, not really the question so much as who's going to take that 7th spot. And as you look into the background there, you see the green socks. That's Christian Kerr passing Mejia to get into the 7th spot. Vasquez does go on to win it, 15-32, the senior, the individual Moore League champion. Giovanni Gamboa, Jacob Jeffries, Zach Ponce, Colby Penn. Distance there, that's Hugo Novoa. So the question still, who's going to be that 7th place runner? Is it going to be a Poly sweep, or will Wilson break it up? It's a Poly sweep. Christian Kerr, the senior, in 7th, 16:06, and look at how much this takes out of him, because he crosses the finish line and boom, he's gone. Add 10 minutes onto that time, by the way. He did not run 3 miles in 5 minutes. Top finishers around the league: David Mejia for Wilson, as we mentioned, Daniel Coles for Milliken, Andrew Cox for Lakewood, Enio Vera with a great finish for Jordan, the 13th overall, Brandon Espinoza, the top finisher from Compton, and Brandon Espinoza from Cabrillo and Juan Guerrero from Compton. So we go to the girls varsity race, where once again you sort of expect the Poly team is looking good for a 10th straight team title, but the top spot a little bit more interesting here than perhaps it was in the boys race, as Ingrid Escobedo of Wilson goes out very fast. She did the same thing as Signal Hill. And as they come over the bridge the first time, she's got a healthy distance for herself, and you see the Wilson fans excited early. Red caps out there. And at the first mile, it's still Escobedo, but you can kind of see that she's laboring a little bit, not quite springing out as much as she was in the first mile. And sure enough, the second time over the bridge, it's Jocelyn Dominguez of Milliken who's out front. That's Melissa Tanaka and Jessica Gonzalez of Poly, hot on her heels. So still a very tight race, which we have not seen at league finals for the girls in recent years. Someone's sort of gone out in that first mile and just held it. Sure enough, about the second mile, Dominguez starting to build a little bit of a lead, about 6 seconds over Tanaka. But the next time we see him, Tanaka is now in front. This is our 3rd leader of this 3-mile race. Again, very rare for a Moore League girls varsity final to come down to this kind of jockeying. But on the final turn around the lake, it's Jocelyn Dominguez who takes it, a time of 18:10. Tanaka is kicking at the end, but in 18:12 is not going to get her. So great finish for Dominguez. It's Gonzalez after that. The top finishers around the league: Sarah Hernandez of Lakewood, Montserrat Gorestieta from Wilson, Raja Laribi from Jordan, Candice Nichols from Cabrillo, and Priscilla Ramos from Compton. But obviously, as you might imagine, plenty of Milliken fans all fired up for Jocelyn Dominguez. She's their first individual varsity winner at league finals since 1992. We're going to recognize the all Moore League teams here as we do every year. Talk a little bit more about some of the history that was made. That Poly boys varsity sweep the first time that's happened since 2002, and just the second time in the 57-year history of the Moore League. So big deal there, and for Jocelyn Dominguez, the first non-poly winner since 2005, and Milliken's first winner since 1992. So dramatic day, fun day at Heartwell. You see how much it meant to that Milliken team and the fans, and you see how much their support means to Dominguez. This is really kind of a cool story, because it was written all over her face for the whole evening how much that win meant to her, and it was kind of cool to see. You saw all the other teams supporting her as she won. Very cool. And the boys varsity, you see that whole front row, the whole first team all Moore League is all poly kids, since they had the top 7 spots, so that's kind of cool. Jackrabbits, of course, take the team titles as well. Wilson was second for both the boys and girls. Those two schools, plus Milliken and Lakewood, will be on to the CIF prelims, which will be Saturday, November 16th at Mount Sac. This concludes our Moore League cross-country season, but obviously these kids hope they've still got some miles left in them. For all that coverage, you stay right here at GazetteSports.com.